Good morning to all of you. My dear students, this is your AI sir. I'll be taking your science class from today, right now. Through this interactive video session, we'll be discussing the first chapter of your science book, and that is the sources of food. This is the module 1. In this module, we will try to understand different topics based on this chapter, such as need for food, function of food, variety of food, sources of food. There are two types of sources of food in your book, mainly. Number one is food from plants we get, and another is the foods we get from the animal sources, right? But in this video session, we will be discussing the first part of this chapter, and that is the sources of plant foods. One by one. Now, see, the chapter name is sources of food, right? Before in detailing, we have to understand first the term food. What is the meaning of food? You may note it down. Food may be considered or treated as any substance consisting of micronutrients such as carbohydrate, maybe protein, fat, or other essential minerals, etc., which are very essential in the body of an organism in order to sustain life, such as growth, development, reproduction, etc., and to sustain in this earth. And that will help to exist these organisms from generation to generation. This is the first case that will help the food, and food is also considered the main source of energy. I hope this is clear regarding the food. Now, I would like to start from your book directly. The first topic is need for food. Why we should have food on daily basis or day to day. We know all organisms need food. Why? Answer is to sustain life. Not only the human beings, but also all animals, all plants need food for their living. The another point is that we can say it emphasizes the necessity of food, and that is we feel exhausted or we get exhausted and weak after doing work, and if we don't eat for a few days, and without food we may fall sick. These are the necessity or importance to have food. Clear? That's why this chapter is based on the topic of food. Now, what is the function of food? There are different types of functions, such as number one is it provides energy to perform work and other activities in your life. Second thing is it will help in the growth of our own body. Third point is it will also help in healing injuries and protects our body from the disease or illness. And the final top point is it will also help to keep our body warm. These are the few functions of food. These are very important. Here the question is, what is the necessity of food? What are the functions of the food? Now come to the third point, that is the variety of food. Is there any variety of food? Answer is yes. In terms of region, in terms of Christi culture, in terms of customs, in terms of livelihood, we can see different variety of food, such as in northern India, the food is different from the rest of the South Indian region. So the food habit is different. It may vary from region to region. Under this topic, we need to consider only two important points regarding the food variety, and that is food habit. Vegetarian people and the non-vegetarian people. Vegetarian peoples, who are they? They are those people who eat only plants. They will be known as vegetarian. Whereas for the case of non-vegetarian, those are people, they will eat not only plant but also the meat as well. Vegetarian and the non-vegetarian. Clear? These are the examples of different types of foods. Now this is your page number 10. I am here. This is the main topic of your chapter and the sources of food. Here we will try to understand the sources of food from plant. Generally, sources of food are of two types. Number one, plant sources of food and the animal sources of food. That means we can get food from both plants and the animals. It is noteworthy that only green plants produce their own food. Remind it, only green plants produce their own food. There is also exceptionality that some plants may not produce food, whereas some animals may produce food. But here the one thing it should be noted in your mind, that it is very essential to know that only green plants in this earth can produce their own food. What are the reasons for this? The reasons is they have only the chlorophyll on their body. So chlorophyll will help them to produce their own food. That's why all types of green plants are treated as the producer. That means they only produce the food, whereas animals are treated as the consumers. Why? Because they are not able to produce their own food. They have to depend on the producer, that means the green plants. In this topic, we have to know only two terms, and that are producer and the consumer. What are the producers and what are the consumers? Once again I repeat, producers are mainly the green plants. Why? Because they produce their own food. For the case of consumers, animals are treated because they are unable to produce their own food. They have to depend on the producer, that means the green plants. Now, what are the sources of plants from where we can get easily the food? And all kinds of the following things that we are going to discuss will be treated as the source of plants' food. Am I clear? This is a very important sentence we should know, and that is green plants prepare their own food by using, remind it, by using light, carbon dioxide. We will get carbon dioxide, they will get carbon dioxide, from the air, water and the chlorophyll. By using light, carbon dioxide, water and chlorophyll, green plants can prepare easily their own food. I hope this is clear. Now consider this sentence: foods that comes from different parts of a plant body. The different parts of a plant body are generally treated as the source of plant food. That means we eat these parts of the plant body in form of our food. These are mainly vegetative part of the plants and the seed. Vegetative parts of the plants are, this is the mnemonic word SLR, that means stem, leaves and the root. These are the three parts of the plant, and this will be known as the VP. VP means vegetative part, and these vegetative parts will be eaten in form of food, and they are the sources of the plant food, right? Excluding VP, that means the vegetative part, or SLR, there are also seeds, different types of seeds. We can have one by one. We will try to understand the sources of plant food. First, we should start from the root. Root is definitely an important source of food, plant food, right? What are the plants that are treated to be source of plant food? The examples are carrot, radish, turnip, sweet potato, beetroot, cassava, etc. These are the plants we eat. But which part of this plant? Answer is only root. Answer is only root. Root is the part that we eat of this plant, because this plant stores their food in their root. This is the diagram of different types of root based plant food you may consult, such as radish. Clear? These are the root based source of plant food. Likewise, the another source of plant food is stem. Plant also store their own food in their stems. For example, sugarcane, they fill their sugary juice in their stem. Therefore, stem is treated as a good source of food. Another example is stem of lotus, and it is used as vegetable. Here the stems are mainly treated as underground modified structure. Once again I repeat, the stems that are edible or that are eatable or that are eaten are mainly modified underground structures. And the examples of the plants are potato, turmeric, clear, and their stems will be known as the underground modified structures. And these stems also play a pivotal role in reproduction of this kind of plants. That's why they are also known as the reproductive part of these plants, turmeric or the potato or the sugarcane whatsoever. It is very important to know that carotene, it is a one kind of substance, and it is very rich in sugar, protein, and carrot, we will get carotene from the carrot. When carrot is eaten, the carotene changes or is undergone to change to a vitamin that is known as the vitamin A, and it is further stored in the liver of the human beings or as well as the other animals part. Here keratin is very important. We can get keratin from the carrot. Carrot is the plant source of food, and from there we can easily get the keratin, and after eating keratin will be converted or transformed into the vitamin A, and it will be stored in our liver of human beings, if we say, and for the animals it will also stored in the liver. Now different types of modified structure of stems will be treated by different names, such as for the case of potato, the modified structure of a stem will be known as the tuber, and for the case of ginger and the turmeric, they will be known as the rhizomes. Clear? Once again I repeat, different types of underground modified structures, stems of this kind of plants will be known by different names for the different plants. For example, if I say the case of potato, in this case of potato, this part will be known as the tuber, where starch is mainly stored. For the case of ginger and the turmeric, the same thing will be known as the rhizomes, whereas for the onion and the garlic, it will be known as the bulb. It should be noted. So we have discussed the two important sources of plant foods, that is root and the stems, and these two are the vegetative part of the plant. The another important vegetative part of the plant is the leaves. That means leaves may also be treated as food. And what are the examples of the plants? Such as first example is the lettuce. The lettuce are eaten as the salad, whereas for the case of cabbage, spinach, methi, etc., mustard leaves, etc., are used as the vegetable. Clear? So these plants will be treated as vegetable, whereas for the case of the lettuce, this will be treated as the salad form. Another kind of example is for the case of mint plant and the coriander. This will be treated or used in order to enhance the flavor of food. So they are the flavor enhancer, and they have medicinal uses also. And bulb of the onions and the garlics are also the part of the food I have mentioned earlier. Now the fourth case or the source of plants food is the flower. That means yes, flowers are also treated as the food. Examples are cauliflower, broccoli, banana, etc. are treated as the vegetable. These are the vegetables we eat, and these are the source of plant food. This is very important to know that petals of rose are used for preparing the jam, as well as it is taken as the mouth refreshener or the freshener, and it has a medicinal characteristics. The fruit is also treated as the source of plant food. Many plants store food in their fruits. Clear? Likewise, leaves, flowers, stems and roots. Many plants may also store their own food in their fruits, and fruits are treated or used a source of plant food that are eaten by the animals or the human beings. Regarding fruits are eaten raw. Fruits eaten as different types of food, such as mango fruit, orange, grapes, banana, papaya, melon, apple, etc., guava, dates. They are used in preparing jam. And jelly. It is very important to know that some fruits, although they are fruits, but they are treated or will be used as vegetables. What are they? Tomato. fruit, brinjal fruit, cucumber fruit, pumpkin fruit, lady's finger fruit. Beans also fruit, chilies also fruit, but they are, although they are actually fruits, but will be used or in form of vegetable because they are cooked in our home. Cucumber will be treated as the part of salad. These are the plants which are treated as fruits, and these are the sources of the plant food that we use. As I mentioned earlier, once again here the repetition, that is onions and garlic are treated as modified stems, and these modified stems will help to reproduce the plant by themselves. That's why they will be treated as the helped vegetative multiplication of the part, and they will form the bulb, which are the eaten part of that plant. Nothing else. This is the repetitive statement. Now come to the point, the seeds. Seeds are also eaten in form of plant source of food. And what are the examples? Such as cereals. Cereals are also known as grains, pulses, and the oil yield seedlings. For the case of seeds, first we would like to start with the example of cereals or grains. What are the examples? The wheat, rice, corn, barley, millets, etc. treated as the cereals of the grains, and they are the rich sources of flour and used for making and baking of the loaves and the breads. Clear? These are the utilities of the cereals and the grains in our daily life. For the case of pulses are the broken half of the bean seeds, such as, what are the examples? Pea, Bengal gram, that means chana, black gram, green gram, moong dal, or the lentils, masoor dal. These will be treated as the pulses, and these are the good sources of the food in form of seeds. Clear? Likewise the soya, they are consumed in form of food. There is another type of food that is known as the curry, and curry is what kind of food? Curry is based on the pulses. That means whole or broken half pulses are cooked in form of curry, and it is eaten by the human being. There are also another types of examples of the pulses, and they are known as the roasted gram or peanut groundnut, and they are known as popularly snacks. They are consumed mainly during the winter. This is a very important sentence. Whole seeds of some pulses are sprouted. Sprouted means germinated, and may be eaten raw. The final part of the seed is the edible oil. That means seeds yield edible oil that are used in purpose of cooking. What are the examples? Examples are mustard oil, sesame, soya, groundnut, coconut, olive oil, etc., sunflower oil. These are the examples of the plants from where we can get the oil by extraction of their seeds. Don't forget this, that castor oil and linseed oil are not treated as oil because they are not edible. If we eat, they may have the unwanted and the adverse ill effect of our body. That's why they are not treated as the edible oil. This is your home assignment. This is the practical activity. You can practice this at your home. That is to sprout the seeds. That means how can we germinate the seeds? This is the process, practical process based on germination of seed. The procedure is very simple. We have to take water and we have to soak some amount of seed. into the water, and thereafter we have to wait for 2 days, and it should be kept at a warm and airy place for 2 days. And the observation we will get that teeny white baby roots will come out, and they will be known as the sprouts or germinated, and these are the very nutritious part, and that can be cooked, and they are very rich in vitamins, and they are very easily digestible. So this is the activity you should practice at your home easily. The last thing of today's discussion, module 1, is that there are also examples of non-flowering plants that are also treated as source of food. Examples are, what are the examples? Examples are fungus based plant such as mushroom. Clear? These are edible and cultivated all over the world because they are very rich in protein. There are also edible fungus plants are non-green and non-flowering. No other fungus plant is edible. Mind it that only edible fungus plants are non-green and non-flowering. No other fungus plant is edible except this kind of plants, mushrooms. Clear? That's all of today's discussion. Thank you very much for watching this video. Have a nice day.